hash marks, please. We're going to open up this lightning round. Bill Landis, Kings of the North, and the podcast.
Ryan, I know you spent a lot of time with Chip throughout your career. You obviously been around football a long time. But does it ever throw stuff up on the board where you're wondering where you got that from and whether or not it's worth trying?
Oh, yeah. But I think that's where some great ideas come from, is you throw things out there and some things, stick, and then other things, you just got to move on from. But, I think that's all healthy. And I think, but that's the part you got to really do a good job of, is figuring out what are the things that are good change-ups that can give us, something, and what are the things that, can get too watered down, and then before you know it, we're having a hard time executing things. So that's the constant conversation, and we're always trying to chase that on offense. But, we're not short on ideas and creativity, and that's a good thing.
Tim May, Letterman Row.
Ryan, kind of touched on this a little bit yesterday, but what was that moment when you decided this year you're going to kind of let it all hang out to a certain extent? I mean, going for it on fourth down situations and things like that. Is it, like you said, it's because you've got a talented team, you don't want to waste it? I mean, what is just sort of behind that?
No, every decision that's made is made based on winning the game, and so, we're going to do that, and that's it, and you do everything you can to make sure you're putting your guys in the best position to win the game based on all the different criteria that are in play. That's it, and I don't know what else to say. There's certain times where, you go for it and you make it, and it's a great decision. You go for it, it doesn't work out, it's a bad decision. That's kind of how it goes, and I see that happen across the board. But, we do want to be aggressive and put our guys in a situation to go win games and make sure we're attacking and have that mindset.
But the payoff makes it worth it, right? I mean, is that when you're successful?
Yeah, that's exactly right. But, and that's, our guys, we work hard in those situations, and I think, it's our job to make sure, everyone in the program knows, in this certain situation, we got to be ready for this. Here's the play that we're going to run, here's what we can expect, and then we got to go execute it. But it ends up coming down to the guys on the field, and then whether they, they execute it or not, and they're the ones that deserve all the credit.
Kellyanne Stitz, WSYX.
Coach Jay, what stands out about came back from there after you faced him when he was at Michigan?
Yeah, a veteran quarterback who has played a lot of football, so coming into an environment like this is something he's used to, and he's playing good football right now and made some really good throws this year. So a veteran quarterback can go a long way in this conference, especially on the road.
Whitney Harding, WCMH.
Hey Ryan, way back here. Tyleek was available last week, didn't get in. How's he doing this week? Do you expect him to play?
Yeah, we expect him to play.
Bill Rabinowitz, Columbus Dispatch.
There's more good players in Ohio than you can possibly recruit. Cal Johnson, one of the guys in this week didn't recruit. Can you explain why? And did you see his comments? Thoughts on, he said basically, I'm glad they didn't recruit me. I just want to be.
Oh, yeah, no, I didn't see any of those. But, I followed his career, and he's done great. He's developed into a really, really good football player, and, we always want to recruit Ohio players, and so we certainly, love to see Ohio players do well. We don't like when we're playing against them for sure, but, that we can't sign everybody, and, we're proud of guys that lead the state and do well. So, he's done a great job as a running back, and, he's playing really good football right now.
Dan Hope, 11 Warriors.
Ryan, with Denver, how do you think that, throwing that touchdown pass last week can be something slipping a bit?
No, I think it's a confidence thing, and we talk about confidence all the time. Like, what is real confidence? There's fake confidence and there's real confidence. Real confidence means, you've actually done it. You look somebody in the eye and I'm gonna go do it again. And so, when you actually physically do it, I think it builds real confidence in you. And so it's hard to do that unless you've actually put it on the field. So for him to step up in that moment in a big spot, not only was it a 2-minute drill, but it was also in the red zone at the end of the half. Two big situations to win right there. And so, it's got to give him a little bit of juice this week. I feel like it has. I think he's had a good week of practice.
Stefan Krajcnik, Cleveland.com.
You're just talking about kind of the things that Chip Kelly will bring into the offenses and just kind of how his offense is evolved overall. How do you feel Ryan Day, the quarterback, would fit into 2024 Chip Kelly's offense?
Well, I think the thing that Chip would tell you is, when you say offense, like, his offense or, the offenses that he's been in or our offense or anybody's offense, like, what is somebody's offense? It's putting our players in the best position to be successful. What does that look like? This year, it looks different than maybe it did when he was at UCLA, when he was at Oregon, when he was in Philly. Every year it changes. Just making the adjustments to put the guys in the right position based on who you have, and that's really what we're trying to do constantly. So. When you say the offense now, I wouldn't be playing at Ohio State, so I don't know how to answer that part of it.
Austin Ward, the podcast.
Right, it feels like Travion is better across the board, all around as a back. Is there a part of his game that you think he has particularly improved this year through the first 4 games?
I think we all can see the pass protection has been really a strong point, and I feel like we're running downhill as a group. Stronger and hitting things, even the trap that we hit. I mean, we hit that the other day and it came out the back end, and so playing a little bit more discernment across the board, a little more confidence, but that's got to continue against a really good defense this week.
Spencer Holbrook, Letterman Row.
I know Ty was in there the last 2 weeks, but without Tyler, do you feel now getting Tyler back that there was something leadership-wise missing from that defensive line rotation there, and now getting Tyreek back? What does that mean for you guys, not just on the field, but leadership side?
Tyreek's a great player, but like you said, he's a leader, and there's a lot of communication there. One thing about Tyreek, he's got a very, very high football IQ, and so there were times where we did miss him, but it was good to see other guys step up too, and we need to continue to see that. But there's no question that he's a very, very strong player, makes a lot of plays, but also has leadership. He's been in the program for a while, and has strong relationships with everybody on the team, but in particular the guys up front, and helps in that part of it for sure. So good to have him back this week.
Dave Biddle, 24/7 Sports.
Back to running backs for a second, Ryan. How much of that is the influence of Carlos Loughlin? I'm not asking you to disparage the previous running backs coach, but how much is that influence of Carlos Loughlin paying off?
He works hard at it. You can feel him. You can actually hear him before you see him. He's got a lot of energy, and he wants that room to reflect who he is as a person. He said that the minute he got in here when he first talked to the team. But it isn't just the running backs. He has an impact on a lot of guys on his team. And there's an energy, there's a toughness, there's a mindset that he likes to bring, and it's been contagious.
And final question, Dave Biddle. No, my bad. Cam Teague Robinson, The Athletic.
Ryan, you talked a little bit about Caleb, but he's obviously second in the country in rushing, but he's third in the country in yards after contact. What kind of challenge does that pose for a defense when a guy like that just can get 6 yards even if you're trying to tackle him?
Yeah, he's running hard and like you said, breaking tackles, and so you gotta do a good job in practice of thudding people up and making sure that there's an extra emphasis on that, and then you got to run the ball and get multiple people to the ball. But the guys who are right at the point of attack got to do a great job wrapping up and run their feet and be strong and be powerful and be really decisive and getting them on the ground. But we know the challenge. He's a very good back, and so we got to prepare at a high level. And I feel like the last 2 days, we've got everybody's attention, and so now we got to go put it on the field.
Do it. One more question. Joey Kaufman, Columbus Dispatch.
Ryan, you guys are past the 4-game mark now. Have you made any decisions with anybody, whether to redshirt, or has anybody told you that they wish to redshirt this year for the intention of leaving?
No. I don't have the sheet in front of me right now, so I won't be super accurate with that. I can probably get it to you on Tuesday. Just to make sure we bring that up to guys who have played 4 games. But the guys that we feel like are going to play for the rest of the season, or we're going to need for the rest of the season, we'll keep playing those guys in games. The ones that we're not sure of, unless we need them, we'll hold off on that. But there are conversations this week about that.
Great, Coach. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ryan.
Yep.